welcome back to Sao Paulo. It's round number 11. Not even 11, I don't think. No, it is round 11. Sorry. Of Season 3 in the ERL INDYCAR series, and you are watching the championship leader, Linus Eriksson, who has the opportunity to win the championship today if all of his championship rivals that are near him in the standings, that is Akari Lopez, Nav Sanchez, and the man who enters this round second, Max Bortkar, if they are all not scoring points today and Eriksson scores a first place with a fastest lap, he is champion and he starts on pole. Behind him is Gabriel Labogtin, Dav Sanchez, and Wet Koloko, the Hungarian driver, starting up and fourth after a podium. Then it's Dominic Hudson, the two hyperdrive BBXs of Kui and Catfish. Then it's Milsos Micah, Gasly, Bortkar, Lam Fong, Kriel, Medvac, Colby, Shen, not Q in the 25 there. You can see Butler and Thornburg behind. Then it's Tommy, Akari Lopez, Bob Marino, and teammate Lewis Olsen as we go on board with the 95, and then his teammate, of course, the two Maya Shanks. They've often brought up the rear of the pack. We've got two drivers on the hards for this outing. We've got Manny Medvac in the 13, and then the number, and starting in 21st, Bob Marino, not the 13, the 66 of Manny Medvac, who I believe is still yet to win his first race. Linus Eriksson took his first race win this season, and we could be on for a trend if he and Puff are able to take the championship this season. The season where, despite being in the ERL for 3 seasons prior, the season where they win their first race is the season where they take the championship, as you can see. Just charging up, because you know it's always important to make sure that the recording doesn't go offline due to poor battery. Right, pace car pulling into the pits at the end of lap 1. Eriksson is going to lead us away from Labogtin and Sanchez. Can Linus take the championship here in Brazil? It's the ERL in Sao Paulo as we get underway. Coming out of turn 3. An optimal start for Linus there. You can see him trying to pull a lead over the AJ Foyt driver behind him, and it's 77 hundredths of a second as they come out of turn number 4. Labogtin getting chased by Dav Sanchez as we ride on board with the 72. Sorry for the poor frame rate. It is a very hot day here in Brazil, which could increase tyre wear. Manny Medvac in the 66 drops to 17th as Devin Butler gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Looking at the 71 now as he gets passed by the other Chip Ganassi of Carson Thornburg. And there's that 19 of Gabriel Labogtin behind him. Dav Sanchez, the highest placed of all of the championship contenders, but also one of the less likely to go for it. Wet Koloko fastest lap of 58.216. This is quite possibly the shortest lap that we're going to have all season long, and it could be one of the most fun laps. As you can see, Ray Shen all over the back of an OQ. We go on board with car number 25 as he's coming under threat. There goes Ray Shen using that attack mode. As you can see in front of him, Kriel and Colby going side by side, fighting over 12th position. Our man Kriel, the rookie driver for Apex Pinnacle, could see himself in Formula E one day, but he does need to prove himself a little more here in INDYCAR if any of the ERL Formula E teams are going to pick him up. But of course, INDYCAR not exactly a feeder series. You can see Gabriel Labogtin in the 19 there, rising up the hill. Sorry for the voice crack, but on board we are with Gabriel. Rounding the final turn. He's got attack mode on Linus, but Sanchez has got attack mode on him as they come down through the center. S's looking back with car number 19. That's Gabriel Labogtin for AJ Foyt Enterprise, as you can see on screen. 7 tenths is the difference coming out of turn 3 into turn 4 they go, and it's under half a second. Milsos Micah fastest first sector of 15.750, and I don't think for Gabriel he can really pick up the pace too much more. Medvac and Marino are making up the back of the pack. Of course, the two who started this race on the hards, struggling the most on those slower tyres. The difference between the pace between the tyres that you can see in the ERL, it's a lot more visible in INDYCAR compared to in Formula E. As you can see, Gabriel in the slipstream now of Linus. Pulls to the inside, coming out of the final turn. They go side by side. Attack mode for Gabriel Buxton. And on lap 5 of 17 here in Sao Paulo, the Frenchman takes the lead in front of Linus Eriksson. For Linus, he knows he doesn't have to take the championship today. It's going to be a lot easier if he does it in Twin Ring Motegi next time out in Japan, which would be, well, another championship decided in Japan. I feel like Japan always hosts some of the best title deciders, but for Linus, wind back the clock a few seasons ago, and that was actually one of the better opportunities for him to win a race in Season 2. Unfortunately, engine failure meant that he was not even able to finish that race in Twin Ring Motegi. Rising up the hill here in Sao Paulo there, and you can see that 8 car looking to be a lot quicker than the 19 in front of it. 0.5 of a second is the difference, and I don't know if they'll be able to make the move down into turn 1. 0.4, 0.3. It's not going down the inside, and that's a smart move. He's got a better opportunity coming up, heading down the straights. It's a lot of wear on the Firestone Reds. Attack mode and push to pass in tandem, side by side into turn number 4. And on those Firestone Reds, Linus Eriksson reclaims the race lead. Wet Loco still got that fastest lap in case Eriksson still wanted to go for the championship immediately this time out. Borkar's only up to 11th. He needs some of those championship rivals of his to not be scoring points. Unfortunately, he is being chased by Daf Sanchez, one of those very rivals. Still looking at that fight for the lead between Eriksson Labartzen and Daf Sanchez. And one of these three is going to have no attack mode to fight with once they head onto the main straight. And unfortunately for Linus, it is the race leader as he dives into pit row. Linus Eriksson pits, and he's got Wet Loco for company. We're on to lap 7 of 17 here in Sao Paulo. And you can hear just how angry these cars sound. Dominic Hudson got past Awful Catfish, I think, on the last lap using push to pass and attack mode in tandem. And also Micah with that attack mode. So does Lam Fong behind. Here comes the 73, goes side by side, and the Vietnam driver moves up into 6th position. The first driver from Vietnam in the entire ERL. But now for Lam, where can he place his car to get past the Malaysian in front of him? Daf Sanchez closing in on Gabriel Buxton further up ahead. The fight for the lead still being quite spicy. Eriksson, Loco, Thornburg and Olsen all came out of the pits on hard tyres. Gasly came out on softs. But I do think the hards is the optimal. In come the top 3, I want to say. Yes, the top 3 all into the pits. Dominic Hudson will take the lead from Awful Catfish and Lam Fong, of all drivers, to be in 3rd, and those soft tyres are absolutely not having it. 8 laps run, and they're at 40%, so if Gasly's going to go long on his stint on the softs, he's going to have to go to at least laps 14, by which point his team might not think it's worth pitting. There goes Lam Fong. Down the inside as Wek Loco further back, 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Lam Fong moves up into 2nd position. And for Loco, that was with the back of Daf Sanchez, but the leading pack heading into the pits are still the leading pack coming out. It is Eriksson from Labartzen, Sanchez and Loco, the top 4 who have pitted so far, and Gasly actually all over the back. Prix looks for a way past the Frenchman, going side by side. There goes the Dutchman, and he looks for a way past the Hungarian, who's currently right in front of him, getting into the slipstream coming through the 2nd sector. However, that's a lot of dirty air once you're braking and turning. Don't really want to stay there for too much longer, so you can see him pulling out. Looks down the inside as Lam Fong pits, and I think Hudson, no, he stays out. Colby also into the pit side by side between Prix and Wek Loco, and by the time they make their way out of the final turn, Prix moves in front of the Penske driver and possibly even the Andretti of Daf Sanchez in front. The fight for 12th here could also be interrupted. Rounding that turn number 3, Curva del Sol, I believe is what it's called, as they come through turn 4. Sanchez with the fastest first sector in 12th position. Loco still with that fastest lap set on lap 2. and Hudson still leads the pack. Tommy's done 9 laps on his softs. Theoretically, if you're Lam Thong, you could go to the end on your softs. The question is, would you want to? And I think the answer to that is no, you would not. As there goes Daf Sanchez down the inside on... Oh, that's a lot of moves made by Sanchez to get up into 9th position. And now he's in the slipstream of Ray Shen in front, who dives into pit lane. Got many drivers into the pits, but it's Catfish who leads from Armand Kriel and this man, Linus Eriksson, trying to become the first Swede to take a championship in the ERL. Attack mode online for Linus as he's closing into Armand Kriel in front, who's medium tyres. He started the race on them and they are really struggling for him. Looks for a way to go around the outside on the Pinnacle driver. Should be an easy move, but he's forced off the track. Sanchez is closing in as the 8 remains in the slipstream of the man in front of him. As, oh, side by side, Sanchez looks for a way to go down the inside. Can't quite get it done though, as you can see the number 90 of Armand Kriel posing a very big threat to Linus's potential race win here. But as they round the final turn, that's going to be car number 8 up into P2, and as Catfish pits with Armand Kriel, Linus Eriksson leads with 6 laps to go. Gabriel Labargton looking for a way to get back past on Daf Sanchez. And now for Catfish as he goes onto the mediums, which I'm not too sure is the tyre that you want to be on here with 6 to go. If you've just come into the pits, I think the optimum tyre might be the softs. I don't know about the hard, says Butler now setting the fastest lap. Yeah, I think Eriksson could be on for a victory here if it weren't for the fact that Daf Sanchez all over the back of the Aaron McLaren SP driver in that Andretti green racing car. Kui also joining in. It's a 4-way fight for the lead between Eriksson, Sanchez, Labargton and Kui as they return to single file action heading into the final sector, which is really just constantly accelerating and turning once you get out of that braking point. On board we were with Sanchez, goes alongside with Linus Eriksson. That rear wing will open up now onto the main straight, and it's Daf Sanchez on lap 12 who takes the lead in Sao Paulo. Gasly pits with Matty Medvec, who's done 11 laps on those hards. And for Eriksson, as he now gets to use attack mode, he's beginning to see the only real issue with using the hard tyres as Akari moves up into 13th position. A good move made by the season 15 champion as he's still being challenged by Tommy. Labargton looking for a way past Linus Eriksson there on board with the 19 we go. Looks to try and go around the outside there, and he just can't get the move done once again, struggling to make passes in that 19 car, but he looks around the outside. Can he do it? He's done it! Gabriel's moved in front of Linus Eriksson, but still at that inside line, the Swede manages to hold on to second by a thread, and now the Dutchman O'Quee moves up into P3 in front of Gabriel, uses attack mode here, and here comes Linus Eriksson down into turn 1 on lap 13 to take the lead here in Sao Paulo do Brasil. And still he's not quite in front. He doesn't have the grip to remain in front of Sanchez. Kui is going to go after the Philippine driver in the number 72. It's Sanchez from Kui and Linus Eriksson with Gabriel Labargton in 4th. Can he take 3rd here as he's looking for a way around the outside? This remains on the outside as they head down the chicane and has to slot into the slipstream. Thinking of a way to get past the championship leader in front of him. He's thinking of a way to hinder Linus's progress heading into the penultimate round of the championship after this, and he's found a possible opportunity here with the darkening clouds here in Brazil. Side by side they go, and I think Kui's coming in. Kui is into the pits, and I think Sanchez also in. Is he? Yes, he is. Linus Eriksson reclaims the race leader. Sanchez, Milsos, Micah and Kui all have said we have to do the 2-stop here. Our tyres are not going to make it. Gabriel Labargton, however, takes the lead back away from the Swedish driver, the rookie. in the number 19 for AJ Ford Enterprise reclaims the race lead. And with only 3 laps to go, I doubt that the top 2 are going to pit. Theoretically, they don't have to pit. We saw earlier on stints on the hards and mediums lasting over 10 laps. They should be fine to the end of this race, because grip, not really too much of a concern when it comes to staying out of the barriers. Lebarkson still in front of Ericsson, and it's raining! Oh my goodness! It's just like Punta del Este in Formula E! We've got rain on lap 14! The top 2 dive into pit row. It's all going to come down to how quick their pit stops are, as Lam Fong also into the pits for Revolution. Inter's going on for most drivers. Lebarkson comes in. McLaren, they've got the pit box that's furthest down in the pits. Hudson takes the lead from Tommy and Shen. Inters go on, and where is Gabriel? He's behind him. Linus has got it. Linus Eriksson could be on for the championship today. It's a long shot, because he'd need to get the fastest lap for it to be secure, and that currently lays in the hands of Ikari, who is looking to try and get himself up into the top 10 with this strategy call. But now, without any attack mode, I think it's game over for Gabriel. The top 4 all out there on their dry compound tyres, and for Cui, for Sanchez, they're outside of the points now. That's game over for both of them, pitting on the very lap before the rain decides to come to ruin the Samba for them. And I don't know about the top 4 staying out. I don't think that's an optimal strategy call at all. But the 31 staying out there. What about the 45, the 3 and the 4? What about the 33? He stays out. And as Linus Eriksson gets past the NOQ, he stays out too on the penultimate lap. Can Dominic Hudson stay out there and win this race? And NOQ is dropping down the order. They are not pitting. They are not pitting their drivers. Team orders down to Aaron McLaren. SP say that they should let Eriksson go by. And Eriksson moves up into second as Tommy's struggling on the wrong tyres in these conditions. 4 drivers making the wrong strategy call. And now for Dominic Hudson. He's being chased by a man who's hunting that first championship. I don't think it's going to come today, no. Niven Colby's been given a time penalty for colliding with Ray Shen, so that'll drop him down the order. Gets past Tommy there as Linus looks for a way to get past Dominic. Almost ran into the back of the AJ Ford driver. His teammate Lebarkson comes up to him too, but it's Linus Eriksson who rounds the final turn on the penultimate lap. Out in front, Borkar's been given a time penalty. Gabriel Lebarkson on the final lap as they begin it. Looks to the inside of the 8. Currently tries to hold his nerve and stay ahead. As Marino gets a time penalty, Gabriel Lebarkson leads here in Brazil. What can Linus Eriksson say to that? Into turn 4, looks to the inside, lunges to the inside, and takes the race lead back from the Frenchman who's currently behind, and it's a full course caution. Marino is out, but Marino is out. A lot of weaving from Ray Shen there. Certainly was involved in it, and that's going to bring a speedy end to procedures. Lam Fong could have been involved in this race win battle if it wasn't for Marino's retirement there. But in these wet conditions, as the full course cautions end before we're even into the final sector, so we could still see some action here. We are back on the green here in Sao Paulo. Lebarkson, half a second behind. Lam Fong, half a second further back. It's close, but not close enough to stop. As Cui gets a 5-second time penalty, but it's not close enough to stop. Linus Eriksson taking victory in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Colby coming across the line in 4th on the road. And wow, just what a finish, to be honest. You don't really expect to see strategic blunders in INDYCAR when it comes to this. Medvac gets a time penalty. Butler with the fastest second sector. Anyone down in 20th trying to take that fastest lap point away from Ikari. Can he do it as he gets past Shen, riding on board with the number 71? Is it a new fastest lap? It is not. Butler has not managed to do it, and Ikari keeps himself in the championship hunt. As this is your podium, Linus Eriksson from Gabriel Labarton and Lam Fong. McLaren, AJ Foyt, and Revolution Racing, your top 3. Just an amazing podium to see from that race, to be honest with you. As for the rest of your finishes, you had Colby, Loco, Lopez, and Catfish from Max Bortka, Thornburg, and Pierre Gasly, your point scorers, with the fastest lap point going to Akari Lopez, who scores 9. Outside of the points, you've got Daf Sanchez, Marcel Micah, Armand Creole, Dominic Hudson, O'Quee, Lewis Olsen, Tommy, Devin Butler, Manny Medvec, Ray Shen, and a not queue with Bob Marano not being able to score any points by not finishing on that final lap. So in the driver's standings, Linus Eriksson leads, and it's a commanding lead over Niven Colby from Akari Lopez and Awful Catfish. And if you can let me do some mental maths here, I don't think Eriksson's going to be able to walk away with the championship today. He is 45 points in front of Niven, so the championship rolls over to Twin Ring Motegi. Max Bortka is 5th from a tie for 6th between Labarton and Creole. Then it's Carson Thornburg, Dominic Hudson, Devin Butler, Manny Medvec, and Wet Loco from Quees, Sanchez, and Marcel Micah. Then it's Bob Marino, Tommy, Ray Shan, Inoki, Pierre Gasly, Lam Fong, and Lewis Olsen. So in the constructors' standings heading into the penultimate round in Japan, our McLaren SP lead in front of Apex Pinnacle and AJ Foyt Enterprise, who are only 1 point in front of a tie for 4th between Hyperdrive and Sims High Speed. Those two are only 2 points in front of Andretti Green Racing, with Chip Ganassi in 2nd. Team Penske is 8th from Revolution Racing and Maya Shank with Power Motorsport at the very back. We will see you guys next time then when the ERL returns.